our relations were really very, very disturbed for reasons I think all of you know. We have made some progress in what we call disengagement. There are very large number of Chinese troops deployed along the line of actual control who were not there before 2020. Yes, we have made some progress. Our relations were really very, very disturbed for reasons I think all of you know. We have made some progress in what we call disengagement, which is when troops were very close to each other with the possibility that it could lead to some untoward incident. But that's one part of the issue. There are other aspects. The fact is, there are very large number of Chinese troops deployed along the line of actual control who were not there before 2020, and we in turn have counter-deployed. And there are other aspects of the relationship which also got affected during this period. So clearly, we have to see after the disengagement what is the direction we go. But we do think the disengagement is a welcome step. It opens up the possibility that other steps could happen. The expectation after Prime Minister Modi met President Xi was that both the National Security Advisor and myself, we would meet our counterpart. So that's really where things are. What does it mean for the Quad? Look, the Quad, I would say, has a bigger purpose. Think of the Quad. You have 4 democracies, 4 market economies, 4 countries with a strong record of global contributions, all of whom, by the way, happen to be maritime nations, who have found a kind of a common agenda on which to work. This is not a security agenda. The Quad does many things, from connectivity and climate forecasting to fellowships to... there are a whole sort of set of activities out here, and in a way you can say, because it relates to your final observation, look, the kind of expectations that the world had from the United States in the 40s and 50s and 60s, they are not realistic anymore. In the United States, irrespective of what happens in the election, the fact is the United States will, its own global contributions, relatively speaking, are going to be less. Now, there will be a deficit. So we have to ask ourselves, do we leave the deficit unaddressed? Is it addressed by somebody with a very different vision of the global order? Or do those who have a sort of a common interest and a common vision actually come together? So the Quad is really option 3, which is 4 countries who feel on many basic issues that they have a common viewpoint working together. And but there is, no question that, just the numbers tell you, if you look at, what were the top 10 economies of the world 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you can see there's a shift from the West. And I think Australian foreign policy has also made those adjustments. And part of our own relationship today with Australia is, we also, for us, many years ago, we started with something called Look East. This was during Narasimha Rao ji's time. And then it kept developing from the ASEAN, beyond the ASEAN. I think today, Modi ji made it Act East. Then we took it further, saying that we need to, particularly engage the Indo-Pacific countries. So my sense is India is looking much more towards the Pacific. More than half our trade, by the way, is actually done east of India. Australia is looking much more towards Asia and the Indo-Pacific. And I think that is one of the reasons today why our relationship is so much stronger.